Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, I am going to strike my head with things that could make or break your express entry profile, your approvals, your application, your rejection. So this is based on my understanding, my research and my experience, but it will vary case to case. So you should be the one deciding for yourself, and I will only give you suggestions and share my understanding of this dilemma of non-accompanying spouse. And after receiving a nomination or after receiving an ITA, whether you can change the status of that non-accompanying spouse to accompanying spouse or not. Okay, so first of all, I would try to leave a screenshot here. This is from the official CIC website, and you can see that you can add your spouse, you can add a family member at any time of your application. There is no law against it. But as you know, that express entry profile is based on two things. Okay, so first of all is MEC, minimum eligibility criteria, that is scoring 67 points at the minimum level to become eligible for profile creation, express entry profile creation. So if you accompany your spouse, then the first criteria that you would need to meet is to stay eligible. Like if you include your spouse and your minimum eligibility points are below 67, then your profile will become ineligible and your application will obviously be rejected. Okay, and the second criteria of express entry profile, or rather the ITA that you would be receiving, on that particular ITA there will be a lowest ranked candidate score. For example, 468 was the lowest ranked candidate in the December 23rd draw of the FSW candidates. Okay, so if your score is about like 485 and the cutoff is 468, and you change your spouse from non-accompanying to accompanying, and your CRS remains above the cutoff of that particular draw that gave you an ITA, then you should be fine and you should be good to go about it. And if you have received PNP nomination, for example, if you had a spouse non-accompanying and your CRS was very low, like 370, 390, and Alberta picked you, and you submitted your application to Alberta, and Alberta accepted your application and gave you a nomination. And we all know that after receiving that nomination, your express entry profile score boosts up by 600 CRS points. For example, if your score was 370, it is going to be now 1070. Okay, so with that CRS, the upcoming ITA, that ITA will be obviously around 700, 600, 500 CRS. Okay, so if you change your spouse from non-accompanying to accompanying in your express entry profile before submitting your e-APR, or before even receiving an ITA, because obviously if you receive a nomination on Monday and your CRS points are added by 600 points, and the draw is on Wednesday, so in these 2 days or in these 5, 10, 20 hours, you can change your express entry profile. Okay, and in my opinion, there will be no impact on your ITA or the criteria, because the ITA will be given to your new score, right? Your current score on the date of that IRCC draw. Okay, so this is one thing clear. But if Alberta selected you at 370, and in the application to Alberta you now accompany your spouse and you change your express entry profile, then Alberta might think, because their criteria is uncertain, so you don't know that maybe they did not select people below your CRS in your NOC. Their criteria is uncertain. So my advice to you would be is that do not change the status of your accompanying or non-accompanying spouse before receiving PNP nomination. And after you have received PNP nomination, then you can choose to accompany spouse. But that being said, all the secondary applicants, all the spouses who are listening or who are watching this video, please, it is my request that achieve that CLB 9, because if you don't achieve your CLB 9, or if you don't have a university education and you get your ECA done, then there is a chance that spouse will be non-accompanied, and then all this mess is created, and then you will be finding your ways around it. So please get that CLB 9. Okay, now imagine if you include your spouse and you meet the minimum eligibility criteria of 67 points, but your CRS will now be below the cutoff of that draw. Okay, talking about the all program draw. Okay, so if that is the case, then you cannot change the status of your spouse from non-accompanying to accompanying, because two criteria. Remember, minimum eligibility criteria has to be met and the lowest rank candidate cutoff has to be met. And if you are not able to do it, then you will have to first go to Canada non-accompanying spouse. With a non-accompanying spouse, you will have to land there, you will have to spend some time there, settle your grounds, and then apply for a spousal sponsorship, which could take time. Okay, so if the CRS will remain above cutoff, then you can include spouse. If it will go below the cutoff, then you cannot include spouse. This is as simple as that. Okay, and the candidates who have not yet applied before ITA, before receiving your ITA, you can change the status from accompanying to non-accompanying. It won't matter. Okay, you can do that as an express entry candidate. But when you become an applicant and you submit your e-APR, then things get complicated. Or before that, when you receive your ITA, there is a certain criteria and you have to meet that criteria. So don't complicate things. If you don't know what to do, then don't change your profile. Okay, as I said, the responsibility of research is on you. I am sharing my opinion, my views, and from my experience, you can actually edit your express entry profile if there is some additional family member or if you want to accompany your spouse now. Because the reason would be for that is that maybe your husband, who was the secondary applicant, had started a new career and he did not want to accompany you to Canada in start, or maybe your wife, she started her career, or she just had her baby, so she was not willing to go to Canada with you, she was not willing to accompany you. But now, I mean, your spouse has changed his or her mind, and now he or she wants to accompany you. So like, that is like basic human right? But if it is against the lowest ranked candidate cutoff score, then thing is you will not be eligible for that ITA. So this is the science behind it. I hope this video will help you decide better. And if this video added any value to your express entry journey, then hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. This is Iftikhar, wishing you guys all the best.